60% of Australians have a religious belief, and now the Morrison Government is seeking to give them greater protections.
In our pluralistic society, faith is something which is very core to many people, and many people reflect that.
7,817,247.
The Religious Discrimination Bill came about in the wake of the same-sex marriage vote in 2017. Faced with the Conservative backlash, the Turnbull government agreed to have protections for religious communities reviewed. And now, several drafts later, the bill is finally before the federal parliament.
People should not be cancelled or persecuted or vilified because their beliefs are different from someone else's.
The centrepiece of the bill is the right to make a statement of belief.
Essentially what a statement of belief is a written or oral communication of somebody's religious beliefs, provided that they reasonably believe that those beliefs are in accordance with a religion or religious doctrine.
You can make a statement of belief up to a point. It can't be malicious or threaten, intimidate, harass or vilify a person or group.
The Australian Christian Lobby have given this a tick, but we think that it could have gone further.
But those in the LGBTI community argue this statement of belief will protect those who discriminate against them.
This bill threatens to embolden people to just practice meanness in the community.
Legal experts say those making a statement of belief could not be sued for discrimination.
Those comments can be cloaked as a belief, and the people who are so deeply distressed or humiliated won't have any action available to them. So it indeed provides a cloak or protection for those who want to express religious statements of belief.
In 2019, rugby star Israel Falau caused a furore by posting beliefs against homosexuals and others on his social media. He was sacked by Rugby Australia for breaching the player code of conduct. The bill does not include the so-called Falau clause, which would have provided greater protections to people of faith against employers.
The Falau clause was really giving everyday Australians protection for freedom of speech outside the workplace. So that has been dropped. Employers do not own employees, and so that shouldn't be the case. So we will still be advocating for a clause that actually gives Australians the right to speak about their faith outside of the workplace in a reasonable manner.
But according to some legal experts, the new law would have made Falau's case stronger.
Under the new Act, it would have been open for Mr Falau to argue that he had been subjected to less favourable treatment due to his religious beliefs and activities.
The bill would also strengthen the right of religious schools to hire staff who reflect their beliefs.
We believe that religious schools should be able to hire right across the board people who adhere to their ethos. And that would be the same for any political party or, imagine Greenpeace, for instance, hiring somebody who secretly wanted to kill the whales. They wouldn't.
The bill doesn't change the existing right of religious schools to sack teachers or expel students because of their sexuality. Last year, gay Christian minister Karen Pack claimed she was sacked by a Baptist college because of the school's policy against same-sex marriage. The college disputes this and says she left on her own accord.
The fact that, religious institutions and individuals are seeking greater protection in order to discriminate against people like me, even when I share their faith, is incredibly painful, and there's a lot of anxiety.
Karen fears the bill means LGBTI teachers and students will be even more vulnerable.
How much more protection do you want when I've already had people standing in churches calling me demonic as I'm coming through the door? These things are already legal and able to happen. What greater protections do you want?
In 2018, the Prime Minister promised to ban religious schools from expelling students because of their sexuality.
I don't want to play politics with it, I just want to fix it.
But 3 years later, the issue is before a review that's not due to report until 2023.
Gay students should not be expelled from religious schools, and nor should gay teachers who have been employed at those schools be dismissed if they are gay. That has always been my view.
Across Australia, various anti-discrimination laws provide protections, including on the basis of race, age, disability, sex or sexual orientation. But state laws in South Australia and New South Wales offer limited or no protection on religion. The proposed federal laws would partly override the states and territories.
Essentially, what we have here is a situation where one group is given primacy over another group.
Falau is an industrial relations barrister and spokesman for Australia's Imams Council. He says the bill would help fill the gap in South Australia and New South Wales.
If I am discriminated against because of my race in any state, I will have a remedy. Yet, if I'm discriminated against because of my religious identity, then depending upon which state I'm in, I may or may not have any recourse whatsoever. In New South Wales, I won't have any.
And he says it would close a loophole in federal workplace laws that allows discrimination against religious people.
In New South Wales, if there is religious discrimination, it's not protected by the discrimination provisions in the Fair Work Act.
The bill would be sent to a committee inquiry before it's put to a final vote next year.
I would say to the MPs, this is something that was promised at the previous election, and it is something that Australians voted for, and it's something that we really need to get through.
My faith and my sexuality shouldn't be at war with one another in discrimination law. There has to be a way forward that doesn't pit them against one another.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.